Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2017 4th Annual Trophy Awards. This is part 2, where we will take a look back at 2017's hardest platinum trophies. These games were all nominated by you guys, so excluded from this list will be some obscure games that no one's heard of. Also, PSVR titles are not included. Now, in years past, I've often stated that just because a game takes a long time doesn't necessarily make it hard. Well, 2017 has made me concede that sometimes long grinds can be hard, as you'll see in a few instances. Remember, these games were released in North America during 2017 and were all suggested by you guys. Now, before we begin, once again, I would like to take a moment and thank all of my YouTube sponsors and Patreon supporters who allow me to continue making content like this. Don't forget, anyone can also join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Sponsors and Patreon's supporters get special roles in the server. Sponsors just need to connect YouTube with Discord in the user settings menu. Let's kick things off with a list of games that were submitted by multiple people but don't quite make the cut into the top 10, but are certainly worthy of being some of the hardest platinum trophies of the year. Friday the 13th clone Dead by Daylight misses it, SimCity inspired City Skyline, also the very grindy Battlefront 2, the high-speed Wipeout Omega Collection, Nex Machina, the top-down version of Resogun, the Why Didn't the Original Have a Platinum Trophy Steam World Dig 2, the free PS Plus Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends, and special shout out to Super Cloud Built, which would have easily made the top 10 if anyone actually played it. So entering the top 10 is Call of Duty World War II. Now this can cause some issues for some players, but veterans will probably be just fine. This is your standard Call of Duty list. You got your single player stuff and multiplayer trophies, including those in zombie mode. The campaign trophies actually aren't too bad. Veteran difficulty isn't the hardest in the franchise. Where most people seem to have the biggest issue is in the zombies mode. This is becoming less and less troublesome as players become more familiar and comfortable at executing the necessary Easter eggs, but it's still going to take a well-coordinated group to pull them off. Even though it's technically possible to solo the Save Kloss Easter egg, if you're a lone wolf type player hoping to complete these in matchmaking, well, think again. Find some friends and you're well on your way in earning this platinum. Coming in at number 9 is Injustice 2. Injustice 2 is actually far easier platinum than the original Injustice Gods Among Us. In fact, more people already have the Injustice 2 platinum than the original, but a patch has recently made it a bit more difficult as it killed some loot box and leveling exploits. You will need to reach max level with all characters. More than anything, this is just a grind. You will need to have some skill, as you'll be needing to complete 200 online matches and win 50. You'll be doing that against experienced players as well, which makes it impossible for me, because I stink at fighting games. But as long as you're competent at fighting games, the biggest headache in search of this platinum is going to be getting the Catfight trophy. By no means is this technically hard, but it requires a good luck with the random number generator, as you'll need to get Catwoman's Cat Call ability, which can only be earned in loot boxes, with reports of some people opening several thousands of them. Actually, I believe the ability can also be earned in something called a multiverse, but in the end, the Injustice 2 Platinum can be frustrating. The 8th most difficult platinum of 2017 is Yakuza 0. It originally launched in Japan in 2015, but only dropped in other territories in January of this year. It's pretty much the standard Yakuza list and probably a touch easier than some of the past entries. You're going to be looking at well over 100 hours for this platinum. It'll require you to earn 8 missable trophies between your 2 playthroughs, the second of which will have to be on Legend difficulty. The Perfectionist trophy is going to require the most time investment. You'll have to complete a long set of tasks, mini-games, side quests, and collect a bunch of items. You'll also need to complete the 32 challenges in climax battles, a few of which can be frustrating. Now, it does have one of the best trophies of the year, a trophy which requires you to watch a sexy video to earn the I Did It for the Trophy. Number 7 is Friday the 13th. This game is on the list for 2 reasons. One, most people, or many people, voted for it. And secondly, it's exceptionally grindy. But it's not exactly hard, but as I mentioned earlier, I'm willing to give in a bit for massive grinds. There's a low number of players who have the platinum because it requires a lot of playtime. Well, how much? Well, that depends if you boost or not. It could be anywhere from 100 to 500 hours. The saving grace is that you can earn the trophies in private matches, so if you can find a dedicated person or two to assist, you'll be on the lower end of that time frame. One of the grindy trophies includes playing as Jason online 1,000 times. In standard public matches, you will only have a 1 in 8 chance of being selected as Jason. In private matches, you can actually select a specific person to play as Jason, making it boostable, and two-person private matches only last a few minutes instead of the typical 20. Now, as Jason, you'll also have to kill 1,313 counselors. You'll also have to perform all 62 of Jason's kills, which can now be done in offline mode, by the way. If you can find one other person to boost most of these trophies with you, it's just a matter of time. I feel like the trophies are good, but the number of times that you have to do some of them are just terrible. Now take the grind of Friday the 13th and multiply that by about 10, and that's why Orcs Must Die Unchained comes in at number 6. There are a ton of trophies in this list that require an exceptionally long grind, but we're not even going to worry about that because you'll earn most of them on the way to one single trophy, one of the worst trophies of the year, and that is the Empty Pockets trophy. And what does this terrible trophy require? Well, simply spend 200 million coin. Well, yeah, except if you do the math and come up with an ideal money-making strategy, you're still looking at 1,000 hours to do that. Of the 16,000 tracked players on PSN profiles, only 5 players have that trophy, and of course the platinum. Such an accomplishment that was, even the developer posted their names in recognition on their social media. This game is why I'm finally willing to factor in the length of time in the difficulty. I mean, I can't even play one game for more than a couple hundred hours before burning out. I can't imagine playing Orcs Must Die for over 1,000 hours. Moving on from long platinum times into something more manageable, we reach number 5 with Outlast 2. This is a game with difficulty attached to it. Outlast 2 has a higher percentage of platinum earners than the previous couple games on this list, but that's only because people will eventually burn out on those. This game features a similar trophy list as the original Outlast, but it takes it a step further, a step too far in my opinion. It does have a speedrun trophy, but you won't need to worry about that. 4 hours is plenty of time. What makes this a difficult platinum is the fact that you have to complete the game on insane difficulty. Insane difficulty is a single life playthrough with no checkpoints or saves on the hardest difficulty. If you die, you start over from the beginning. Insane difficulty existed in the original game, so it wasn't unexpected. However, now you must complete insane difficulty without reloading your camera battery. You have to complete this on the hardest difficulty without reloading your battery in a single life without checkpoints. That will require you to have an immense knowledge of the layout because you'll have to save your battery and run through completely dark sections. No matter how well you memorize the chapters, remember, something will always kill you. The fourth most difficult platinum of 2017 is NBA 2K18. I will be surprised if anyone has this platinum before 2K19 comes out. While nobody has this platinum, the only reason it's not in the top 3 is because 2K, year after year, intentionally makes this list nearly impossible. No one buys this game and goes for the platinum. It also doesn't appear higher on this list because it also tries to force people into microtransactions big time. Not just trying to sucker you into spending $10, $20, but hundreds. Because 2K has a history of never taking NBA 2K's trophy list seriously, I will no longer seriously consider this game as having a valid trophy list as long as 2K continues to use trophies to lure people into microtransactions. As far as I'm concerned, the NBA 2K series is no longer eligible for the trophy awards moving forward. The third most difficult platinum of the year goes to Gran Turismo Sport. This game combines ridiculous grinds with actual difficulty. Any other year, and this could actually be the number 1 hardest game. The grindy part is reaching level 50. The difficult part is racing online in sport mode. Within this mode, you will need to complete 322 races, earn 65 pole positions, and earn 91 victories within a field of 24 other online players. Thankfully, your skill as a driver will come into play, as you won't have to worry about being matched up with players of a higher or lower rank. You could try to purposely lose driver rating in order to match up against lower skilled drivers, but this will still take a long time investment along with high driving skills. This will certainly require a ton of practice. Best case scenario is that you can platinum this around 200 hours, however for most it may end up taking twice as long. Number 2 on our list is FORTNITE. FORTNITE is a game where no one actually has earned the platinum trophy yet, and it may be a long while before anyone does. FORTNITE is the perfect storm of long grind and high difficulty. FORTNITE, of course, is most well known for its PUBG-style Battle Royale mode. That's what most people are playing, but Battle Royale mode was introduced after its initial launch, and zero progress towards trophies are earned in that mode, so that's why it's almost certainly going to be a rare platinum whenever someone actually does get it. In the initial player versus environment mode, you will need to grind several time-consuming trophies, including fully exploring 1,500 maps, saving 10,000 survivors, building 500,000 structures, killing 20,000 mist monsters, and playing 1,000 games of the Play with Others mission. There are over a dozen trophies in this game that have been earned by less than 1% of the players. Add on top of that the high difficulty for some of the later campaign missions, which will require a full co-op group of some of the best players to even complete. I don't know if I could even estimate how long it's going to take someone to platinum this game, but it's going to be well over 1,000 hours. It's also worth mentioning that progression is limited to those who don't partake in microtransactions. FORTNITE will probably be best known for its Battle Royale mode and not for its trophy grinding original mode. To think, a game with 0 platinum earners isn't even the hardest game of the year. And finally, the hardest platinum to earn in 2017 is Wolfenstein 2. The new Colossus doesn't come to a surprise for most. This game is hard, even on normal difficulty. But how does a game that has already a few dozen platinum achievers become harder than FORTNITE, a game that has 0 players who've earned the final prize? Well, it's because Wolfenstein doesn't have the built-in artificial grind and asks players to complete one of the most difficult tasks, and that is completing the game on Mein Leben difficulty. You will have to go up several difficulty levels from normal and then complete the game in a single life. There are no checkpoints, no saves are allowed, so if you die, and you will, and often, you'll have to restart from the beginning and sit through several of the game's long and non-skippable cutscenes. Your armor will feel ineffective and you will have such low health that it'll only take a tiny moment before you're back at the main menu following a death. For most gamers that you talk to, this is impossible, and I kind of agree. So much so that online petitions have popped up to either eliminate the Mein Leben trophy or making that mode a little easier. Bethesda's not only ignored such requests, but added another Mein Leben trophy in its first DLC. I don't recall ever seeing so much hate regarding one game's difficulty as I have here. And I know it may sound silly, but I know many people have avoided buying this game altogether knowing that was going to be near impossible. So hats off to you if you have this, and if you have this platinum, you've earned my respect. And that'll do it for the top 10 hardest platinum trophies of 2017. Let me know in the comments what you feel was the hardest platinum of the year. See you next time for the top 10 easiest platinums of 2017.